Hey, and welcome back to Celebrity Goddess Oracle. So today I am responding to a viewer request to look at Victoria and David Beckham. So I was thinking to myself, just before I jump in, I use the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards, as you know, if you watch me regularly. So, yes, David and Victoria Beckham. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read them separately, and then we'll do a reading for them as a couple, because it's always interesting to connect into them as individuals first. And I was going to start with Victoria first, actually. I don't always, but usually I do tend to sort of start with the, oh, there we go, first card out, the female energy first. But with this, we're going to jump in and actually read David. So David Beckham, really interesting character, has had an amazing football career, as most of you will know that are interested in David. The two of them are incredibly popular together, and David's very popular by himself as well. They've got 5 beautiful children together, which is quite something. And oh, okay, right. And let's just have a look at the energy that's surrounding him at the moment. Okay. And an overarching card, please. Okay. Right. We're just going to clarify these 2 cards here and see what's going on. So I will be doing like I said, a reading for Victoria Beckham also separately. Oh wow. Okay. So make sure you subscribe, and so it comes in your inbox. Okay, not sure, let's just keep going with this. Unconditional love, wow, okay. Right. And I think just one more for this fairness, because I feel this is going to tie in between these 2. So a clarifier for these cards, please. One more card, and then we can dive straight in. Okay, perfect. Right. Okay. Maybe one more. No, I feel like we've done here actually, but I do want to change decks, to be honest with you. So, not that I always do this, but sometimes I do. I'm going to use the daily guidance from your angel oracle cards. These are one of my favorites. I don't always use them actually in the readings that I do, but I do love them. They're an amazing deck. So what we're going to do is we're going to just look for a clarifier for this actually. So let's see what we get. Let's see what comes up. One more card though. Oh, okay. And just like that. Okay, change in direction. Perfect. So change in direction. We're just going to put this card here, and then we can come back to it. Perfect. So we're ready to dive in here. Right. So, okay, so it's a game of, I'm using football analogies already, and I'm not a huge football fan myself. I do like football. My husband is a mad football fan. But I'm going to use an analogy here, football analogy, game of 2 halves, and so it is here. So we're going to come to this half. But we're going to start here actually. So this is a guy, as you know, he's had an incredibly successful football career, and he's got varied interests. But there's something here at the moment where those interests have been quite varied. He's got some kind of interest in, I think, a tequila brand. He's got an interest in Victoria's fashion brand. I know that he's involved in a lot of charitable things, but I feel here that there's something that really, there's something that is a real passion of his actually that we haven't yet heard about and which you don't know about. And this represents this is where this change in direction card comes in. This represents a massive change in direction. I mean, we're talking something that he hasn't really done yet actually. So I've got no idea what that is. Maybe somebody out there will know, and they can put it in the comments below. But this is not a popular plan. people are saying, are you sure? His advisors around him are saying, are you sure? Do you really want to do this? You don't need to do this, but it doesn't matter because he shouldn't back down. This is what he believes in terms of his passion and what he wants, and he should go after it. And I've got this feeling that he will go after it actually, but we're going to come to it. There are challenges in here actually, but we'll come to it. But I think it's important to understand that, you know, in terms of his professional direction, there's very strong future projects in the pipeline for him. He's got a very strong idea on what he wants to do, and it's going to be a change in direction. It's going to be something quite different. This is an incredibly shy man actually. I mean, a lot of people think he's in the public eye, and therefore he must be really very sort of confident, but he's had to really work at his confidence. I see here, this is a guy, even now he's very shy, and this is where, you know, the boundaries and strong will come into that, and the don't back down comes into, because he doesn't find it easy to speak up for himself actually. This is a man who struggles to overcome feelings of insecurity, but you know, he is somebody who's incredibly successful, and he does overcome, and he will overcome in this. He's somebody that can bring things about, and he has done that. I think the energy I get from him is that he feels incredibly lucky. I mean, if you were to ask David, I feel that he would say, I'm really, you know, I've been incredibly lucky. If you'd asked me, you know, would I've envisaged sort of where I am today, he would say probably not. So there's a great deal of shyness, but also humility here, I think. You know, he's down to earth. He's a down to earth person, you know, very much so actually. Okay, so the boundaries and being strong, okay, and fairness and undying love. This is his relationship. This is a relationship with himself, and his relationship in terms of his personal relationships. This is a man that I would say that there's trouble in paradise actually. You know, I don't know what, nobody knows what goes on inside people's four walls, but I definitely get the feeling that there's absolute love here. This is real love, but there are things that I feel that there's actually like things that have gone on that have created a situation where there are these boundaries that have been tested actually. And there's this feeling I've been treated unfairly. I've been treated unfairly. He's been treated unfairly in relation to something in his personal life, and this is a real test for this man. This is a real test for him. But he knows what his boundaries are, and he needs to stand strong. He needs to stand strong in this, and he needs to understand that in connection with this love connection, that it is a real love connection, and that it will survive if it's meant to be. It will survive, and it's going to have to, you know, because I get the feeling that whatever has gone on, the scales need to be balanced. They need to be balanced, and that's where this fairness comes in, and he mustn't back down. Whatever it is very important. It's very important for not just himself and this individual, but also the people around him, his family, the wider family. And so let's pull one more card for this then, actually, in terms of outcome. Let's have a look at this. Let's dive in one more card for this and see what the outcome is. Outcomes can change, obviously, because, you know, it's called free will. We all have free will, and, you know, things do change, but let's just see what, if anything, actually, oh, okay, comes out. Okay, no, it's too many cards, thank you. I just want one clarifier here, please. One card. Oh, okay, no, we're gonna have two. Okay. Okay, this is, okay, so I know where the conflict's coming from, okay? The conflict is coming from the crossover between his love life and his business life. This is to do with, you know, shared business interests. So I'm not entirely sure, but I do think he's got some kind of financial stake in his wife's business. I do know that there's issue around that. That her business has made a lot of loss and there's been a lot of underwriting of that loss, and this is where this tension is coming from. This is where this tension is coming from. And you know, there's going to be a line, because the situation is going to require a line, actually. It's going to require a line, and he's going to do it, and it will be dealt with in fairness, and he will need to be strong, and this love will survive it. You know, the love that they have is stronger, is more is deeper than any kind of financial outcome for the two of them. So that's where that's at. So that's a really interesting read. We'll see what Victoria's reading brings up, and we'll see what a couple's reading brings up for them together. So I'm going to move on into just have a look at the animal totem spirit energy for David. I like to use the Wild Unknown Spirit deck by Kim Kranz. As you can see, it's really beautiful artwork, really lovely. So let's dive in and see what else we've got going on around David Beckham. If you've got anybody that you would like to me to read, make sure that you reach out to me, put it below in the comments. Like I say, this is a viewer, oh wow, this is a viewer reading, so I do take requests. Okay. Oh, okay. Flying out, and just one more. And then we can actually look into this a bit more deeply. Okay. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, so the first thing I get from this is stubbornness. Goodness. David is shy. We've seen that, and you know, as we're connecting to his energy. But my goodness, there's an element of stubbornness in this man. There's an element of stubbornness in this man, and this is not necessarily a bad thing, because with this stubborn kind of nature is his strength. Actually, you know, this is actually almost like his superpower, I'm gonna say. This is a man who's got great depths and reserves of patience. He really does. He's a go-getter. He's somebody who's gonna go out and go get. This is both feminine and masculine energy. This is sort of protector. Somebody who really focuses in on what they want and reserves, you know, bides their time. It connects back into sort of like this divine passion, not backing down. This energy is sort of like, I'm going to take my time finding what it is that, you know, not finding, because he's already found it actually, but I'm going to take my time executing it. And when he does, this is a guy who can make this happen. This is the guy who can make this happen. And the oyster is the pearl of the world. You know, an oyster takes a bit of grit, which is an irritant to it, and over time it turns it into a beautiful, lustrous pearl. And you know, this connects into this energy here actually. You know, we talked about the situation where there's going to be this irritant, and this is going to be connected to business, to their relationship. But you know, over time they're going to resolve it. The boundaries are going to create this sort of lacquer around the grit that's going to make the pearl, and it's going to be just fine. Actually, it's going to be just fine. But I get the feeling like it's a lot of money. Yeah, I get the feeling it's a lot of money. And I get the feeling with them, they haven't had, I do get this feeling around them that they haven't had a lot of unluck, actually. And I feel that this for them represents a little bit of like, this represents a little bit of misstep. It's like, no, we can't have got this wrong. And this is where the stubbornness comes in. No, we can't have got this wrong, so we'll go the course and we'll see it through. But I think, unfortunately, whatever this is there needs to be a reckoning. And the guidance that they've been given and that they're getting really good guidance. They're getting really good guidance. But the stubbornness means they're just not taking it. You know, they're really just not listening. They're really not listening. Oh, they are listening. They're just not yet. They haven't yet taken the action that they need to, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And the most important thing, this connection, this love connection, is going to be fine. It's going to survive that. It's not going to be an issue. So I hope you've liked David Beckham's reading. If you'd like to like, share, and subscribe, that would be amazing. I do personal readings. If you think that would be of any benefit to you, please reach out and connect to me. Like I said, if you do have suggestions, please don't be shy. Please put your requests in the comments below, and I'll try to do my best. In the meantime, I'm sending you lots of love. Please look after yourselves and each other, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.